format, we have a object. In this object, we are trying to delete a group of records. Let us see this. I have a group of records. In this group of records, I am trying to delete these two records. Which of the records you are trying to delete? Capital and del. If you are trying to delete any one of the records, the list of records which you are trying to delete, they are in trigger.old or trigger.old map. The list of records which you are trying to delete, those list of records are which object? The list of records which you are trying to delete. Where are those records? The records are in trigger.old and trigger.old map. In an object, we are trying to delete the records. When you make an attempt to delete the records, the list of records which you are trying to delete, they are in trigger.old or trigger.old map. When you click on the delete, what will happen? Before delete is going to be fine. When delete, before delete trigger is going to be fired. Once the before delete trigger is fired, then what happens? Records are going to be deleted. Once the records are deleted, which records are in database? Which records are in database? Now, if I write a SQL query in the before delete, which records we are going to get? In the before delete, if I write a SQL query, which records I am going to get? Wipro, TCS, Capital, Dell. Why? Because the records are not deleted before deleting. So, once the before delete is completed, records are deleted from the database. Once the records are deleted, then in the after delete, if you write a SQL query, which records you are going to get? In the after delete, if you write a SQL query, which records you are going to get? Wipro and TCS. Why? Records are already deleted. So, the list of records which you are trying to delete, those records are referred using what? Trigger.old. The list of records which you are trying to delete, those records are referred using what? Trigger.old. People have followed? When you are trying to delete a record, then the delete trigger is going to be fired. Before the records are deleted, what logic you want to implement? After the records are deleted, what logic you want to implement? They are defined using before and after delete triggers. Let us take a scenario. My requirement is we have two custom objects, customer and payment. Now, customer and payment. Both of them are connected by what? Lookup relation. So, if you delete a customer, corresponding payment records are not going to be deleted. But according to my logic, if I delete any customer from Hyderabad, corresponding payment records also should be deleted. Whenever I delete a customer whose city is Hyderabad, corresponding chain records also should be deleted. Whenever I delete a customer whose city is Hyderabad, the corresponding chain records also should be deleted. This is my requirement. Then how will I achieve? I have to go with the before delete. Because there is delete a customer, chain record should be deleted. So whenever you make an attempt to delete a customer, corresponding chain record should be deleted. So how you are going to achieve? By using before delete trigger. Concept is clear. Why you are going for a delete trigger? Because the logic should run when you try to delete customer. When the logic should run? When you make a deletion of customer, first the deletion of chain record should happen, then delete the parent record. So we are going with the trigger first. What trigger is this? Before, then. You want to write a logic? Straight away write the logic in the trigger. Let us see. List of go to the format. list of because I am not going to delete all the payment record. Only the payment records of those customer whose city is Hyderabad. So we need to know which customer city is Hyderabad. The list of records which you are trying to delete, they are in record.board. Take one by one record, check. If customer dot city equal to Hyderabad, if the customer city is equal to Hyderabad, then add what is the logic I wrote? Whatever the list of records you are trying to delete, take one by one record, check whether city equal to Hyderabad. If city equal to Hyderabad, add the customer ID to list. So which customer data is available here? The list of which customer data is available? All the customers whose city is Hyderabad, those are available in that IDs. Now I am writing a query. Where customer in if the ID of the customer is in this list of customers, if the ID of this customer is in this list of customers, then get those records, make, delete. People have followed this logic. Now you are trying to delete 4 customers. Take the first customer. Is a city equal to Hyderabad? Add the ID to a list. Second customer. City equal to Hyderabad? Add to the second list. Third, city is not Hyderabad? Leave it. Fourth, city equal to Hyderabad? Add the ID to the list. Now in that list, what we have? List of those customers whose city is Hyderabad we have. Now write a sample query and get payments of those customers. Then delete the payments. So what is this operation? Delete. So go back to this. Go to the customer and the Satish. First let us see are there any changes. We have one change. Delete Satish. When you delete the Satish, go to the payment and see 003 is deleted or not. 003 is deleted. Go to the recycle bin. Right. Go back to the customer. Ravi. Delete it. When you delete, corresponding payments are also. So whenever you delete a customer, corresponding payments are also deleted. So how is this achieved? By using delete again. Whenever a record is deleted, we want some logic to be implemented. People have followed this. What is the functionality you have to give? Whenever new payment is created, the amount what I am entering in the form of dollar, that should be converted in the form of INR and displayed. To do this, I am creating it again. Look at the format. Right. Then I'm giving public static void option set. I'll give the reason why I'm going for option set. So when you give this, you are trying to give list of new records. Now list of payments. List of payments. I will take map of ID comma. What is the object you have taken? Payment object. Then, once you pass the payment objects, you can pass the map or you can pass the IDs, whatever your choice. I can only pass the list of IDs also. Then what I'm doing, I'm running a query, list of payment, list of payments, select ID, comma, amount, INR from payment, where ID in. So whatever the IDs I passed, whatever the IDs I passed, get the payment records of those. I am passing a list of IDs. Based on the IDs, get the list of records. Once I get this list of records, what I'm doing, taking one by one record. Then for every payment record, I have to make a web service call. I'm running a web service program. We're going to discuss in detail in the web service classes. Endpoint. To what I'm making a web service call, I'm going to make a web service call to this. So if you want to make a web service call to this, they're asking for this endpoint URL. I'm taking string. Go with URL equal to URL question mark. They're asking you to pass some data. So this is the data what they're asking you to pass. So I have access token. So right now I'm giving a physical value. Manual I'm giving the value. String API key. Later on when you go to web service, I'll tell you how to hide the data. But as only to show the triggers, I'm only demonstrating the trigger example. So I'm giving a physical value here. When you go to the web services, we know how to hide this data and make it secure. Plus. Then I'm making here plus INR. Then I'm giving URL equal to URL plus. We will be discussing in detail how to make a web service call in the web service classes. This is only to convey the message, how the data will be, how the web service call is made from the triggers. This is how I have taken. So it is giving the format also as they want to give the data in the form of JSON. So they are giving some data here. Right, boss. So I'm making a web service call to this URL. I pass my security token. When I pass my security token, I'm going to get a request. Request.set method. Get. Then I'm giving here. Request string body equal to response.body. Now our point is, can we make a web service from the trigger or not is our point. How you are making a web service is not your question. Now the question is, can we make a web service call from the trigger or not is the question. Why you want to go for using of feature method within the trigger? The general example of using the feature method is when you want to resolve the mixed DMA exception. General one is what? When you want to resolve the mixed DMA exception. But our point here is why you want to go for feature method within a trigger except mixed DML exception. Apart from the mixed DML exception, tell me one example where you can use a feature method. Everybody say we are using mixed DML. Okay, fine. Give me one more example where you can use mixed DML. You open the Google, verify all the sites. 99.999 sites will get feature method is used to resolve mixed DML with a non-setup and setup. But there is no other solution. Now, one more solution where you can say you want to know the feature method. This is one of the examples. Now, I am getting a body. So, here I am going to take, I am going to parse it, boss. Yes. I am writing some program to parse the JSON. My response is going to come in the form of the response I have given. INR. Then I'm going to say p dot pay dot INR equal to pay dot INR pay dot INR decimal value equal to get decimal value. Then I'm giving pay dot INR equal to pay dot amount. Whatever the amount I have given, I am converting the pay to. So whatever the dollar is there, dollar into value. $1 equal this many rupees. Convert it to INR. Now I want to make a updation. This is the format I have taken. This I have written web service program in the class. Is it a feature method or non-feature method? It is a non-feature method. Now I am trying to call trigger, follow, payment follow, and I am giving a payment object. It is after insert. After insert, payment handler dot after insert. After insert, I want to pass the value. So what is the value I am passing? Map of ID comma map equal to what values I am passing? Only I am passing new map dot set. I will tell you why I am taking only IDs here. Okay. Now look at this. Go with the class. Still what is the bug here? After insert. Passing is set. Okay. Now this is the trigger I have done. So in the trigger I am calling a class. That class is calling a web service. And in the trigger I am calling a class. The class is calling a web service. When the class is calling a web service, let us understand this. It is going to fail. Now we need to understand why it is failing. It is going to fail. Now we need to understand why it is failing. Failed. Why it failed? System dot call out exception. System dot call out exception. You are making a web service call because of which it failed. Because of which it failed. Now, why the web service failed? Because the triggers are not going to support synchronous web services. Triggers are not going to support what? Synchronous web services. What is synchronous web services? When you say synchronous web service, what is it? When you make a call to external system, you cannot guarantee how much time it takes. You are making a call to web service call to third party system. You are calling a web service to third party system. When you make a call to third party system, you cannot guarantee how long it takes. It may take 5 minutes, it may take 5 seconds, it may take 10 seconds, it may take 1 minute. Now 1 minute is a huge time. 30 seconds is a very long time. If it is taking a 30 seconds, that means now let us see. Trigger is there. Line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, line number 4. Now line number 1, line number 2, line number 3 is a web service call. Line number 3 is a web service call. Line number 4, line number 5. Now I started 1, executed within milliseconds. 2, executed within milliseconds. Third, I am making a web service call. If made a web service call to third party, it can take a max 120 seconds. 120 seconds is 2 minutes. Now we give a reply within 20 seconds. For next 20 seconds, what happened? These statements are in 26. Now it is a trigger. When you accept the record, unless the record is completed, unless the triggers are completed, data will not be committed. Unless the triggers are completed, data will not be committed. Before insert, validation, save the data. After validation, workflows, roll-up summary, okay, sharing rules, then commit. So record is not going to be committed until you complete the triggers. So 1, 2, so the one made a web service call. Now I took 20 seconds, I came back. So after 20 seconds, the statement will run. So the complete operation is running, waiting for 20 seconds. Complete operation is waiting for almost 20 seconds. So entire operation is waiting for 20 seconds. That means for 20 seconds the record is not saved. For 20 seconds the record is not saved. Are you getting my point? Statement 1, 2, you call a web service, I took 5 seconds. I took 5 seconds. For 5 seconds, record is not saved. After 5 seconds, then I will come here, I will execute 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then the trigger is completed. Then it will go for workflows, then it will go for other operations, then the record is saved. For these 5 seconds or 10 seconds, the entire trigger is supports. So the duration is 5 seconds is very high for a performance. The duration is very high. That's the reason it says, trigger says, we don't support synchronous web services. Okay, you call the web service, but it's not with synchronous. Synchronous is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why it says, I will support asynchronous. Asynchronous web service. Asynchronous is what? 1, 2, don't call web service separately. We say web service is asynchronous. So what happened? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. This web service is running separately. When web service is running separately, you take how much time you want. You take how much time you want, but record will be saved. Record will be saved. Are you getting my point? The record will be saved. That's the reason web service has to be made as what? Asynchronous. You have to run the web service as asynchronous. You have to run the web service as asynchronous. That's the reason it has to be. So if the trigger doesn't support synchronous web services, trigger doesn't support the synchronous web services. So what should I do? I have to run the web services asynchronously in the trigger. How to call an operation asynchronous? Define the web service with a future method. Call the future method within a trigger. If you call a future method within a trigger, what happens? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, future method will run separately. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, synchronous, but future method is running asynchronous. So there is a dependency? No dependency. Now you made a call to future method. Let the future method take 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Doesn't matter because my operation is complete. Right, boss? That's the reason. Trigger will not support synchronous web services. It only supports asynchronous web services. So to run the web services asynchronously, we are using a future method within a trigger. So tell me one use case where you are using future method. Don't say fixed email exception. Right? That's everyone use. Now we are a web service issue. In the trigger, we are going for some web services. So when you are invoking web services, and the trigger is not supporting synchronous web service, we are going for asynchronous web services. To run the web services asynchronously, we are using future method. Right? Okay. The immediate question you ask: did you write a before or after trigger? The immediate you ask: is it a before trigger or after trigger? Why before trigger, after trigger? Now let us say, even the before itself. Even before itself is what? Before itself is what? 1, 2, 3. Before itself I call a web service. I call a web service. Is the record is saved? Saved. You are running asynchronously. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 record is saved. Now when record is saved, that record I have to modify. Unless you know the ID of the record, can you modify? When it is the before trigger, until the trigger is completed, record ID will not be there. So what is happening? This is a before trigger, 1, 2, then I call a web service. When you call a web service, record doesn't have ID. When record doesn't have ID, how can you update the record? How can you update the record? Are you getting my point? If you know the ID of the record, take the ID of the record, run separately. Whenever you get the time, run it, make an update on the record. Whenever you get the time, make it, run it, make an update on the record. Why you can make an update? Because you have ID, you know which record you have to update. But even the before what happens? Running 1, 2, ID of the record is not there. ID of the record is not there. When ID of the record is not there, which record you are going to update after 1? Your future memory is running after 10 minutes. Okay, after 10 minutes, which record you have to update? I don't know. That's the reason. If you have to call a web service to that record, it should be what? After triggers only. It should be what? After triggers only. It should be what? After triggers. Now you may say, I have some validation rules which have to be applied. Or I am not interested in after because I have some validation rules which I have to check. I have some validation rules which I have to check. Then what you can do? You write your validation rule in the update trigger. You write your validation rule in the update trigger. Why? When the future memory is running, then what it is doing is updating a record, right? When you update the record, the update trigger will find. In that you check the validation. Are you getting my point here? Clear about this concept? Right. So what is the trigger we have to use? After. So that there will be no dependency on the operation. There will be no dependency on the operation. So how can you call a trigger? How can you call a web services in the trigger? How can you call it web services in the trigger? We are calling the web services asynchronously. In how many ways we can call the web services asynchronously? 4 ways. 4 ways. How many types of asynchronous operation we have? Future, queuable, batchable, schedule events. All the 4 are what? Asynchronous only. I can call using future, I can call using queuable, I can call using batch, I can call using schedule. But most often used is future. The people get my point? Okay. Now what I am doing? Simply I am making this operation as at the rate of feature. If you define the method as at the rate of feature, now understand. If I pass trigger.new, what will happen? List of S objects will come. If I pass trigger.new, what will come? List of S objects will come. Can I pass S object as a parameter in the feature method? Can you pass S object as a parameter in the feature method? No. That is the reason I have taken a list of. That is the reason I have taken a set of point. Are you getting one point here? Why I have not passed? Generally, all the examples whatever I have taken, I pass the map of ID, comma, so and so. Or I pass the list of S object. But here I have taken only IDs. The reason is when you want to define this method as feature, it will not accept S objects. As it will not accept S object, I have taken only IDs of the record, which I am updating and which I am inserting. Then I have passed those IDs. Right? That is the reason I have taken this. Why did I take after insert? Why did I take list of IDs? Then why I am calling future? These 3 reasons for this together. People have followed? Right? Okay. Now, go back. What happened? Record is saved. Updates, some update mistake is there and it is crossing. Maybe my value is not properly retrieved. My value is not properly retrieved. Right. So, is there any bug here? Is there any bug here? Right. Now, look at the point. Record is updated. Record is updated. But I don't know web service is complete or not. Record is updated. But I don't know whether record is whether the web service is complete or not. How do you know it? Setup, jobs, fx jobs. Now what it says? Web service failed. Web service failed. Why web service failed? Now trigger completed. Trigger completed. Trigger completed. But the web service failed. Because they are running asynchronously, there is no dependency on the feature. Okay, web service failed, so record was created. But the web service failed. But the web service failed. Now what should it do? Why the web service failed? Now, I told you can call the web service call from the future. But if you want to call a web service from the future, we need to give one extra statement. What is the extra statement? At the rate of future, call out equal to true. If you want to call a web service from the future method, what is the statement we have to give? At the rate of future, call out equal to true. If you don't write this statement, web services will fail. People follow. Now, because I run it as asynchronous, trigger is successful. Trigger is successful. But the future method will fail. When future method fail, operation is successful. Because both of them are running independently. Are you getting a point? If I run together, trigger will fail. If I run together, trigger will fail. What is the reason for failure? If you want to call a web service from the future method, we have to give at the rate of future, call out equal to. Now go back again. Create one more record. I hope I explained each and every point. Probably bugs here. I saved the record. Now what happened? It was 32,000, 230. Are you getting my point? 500 into 64 point something changes there. So they converted the value. People are clear with this format? People are clear with this format? Right, boss? Clear with this format? Right? So, can we call a web service from the trigger? Boss, you cannot call a synchronous web service from the trigger. Trigger will not support synchronous web service. Because when you are making a web service call, it will take longer time. When you are making a web service call, it will take longer time. I told, what are the long running operations? Which operations are going to take more time? DML operations, web service call. I told, why I am going for future method? Any operation which is going to take a longer time, to avoid that, we have to run the operation asynchronously. Name some of the operations which are going to take more time. Name some of the operations which are going to take more time. One of the operations is bulk DML operation. What is the bulk DML operation? Working with a larger set of data. We are trying to insert more number of records, trying to update more number of records, trying to delete more number of records. Okay, that is the reason we are going for bulk operation. The second one, web service call. When you make a web service call, what is the maximum time on? 120 seconds. 120 seconds is 2 minutes. You save the record, it is ready for 2 minutes. What will you do? So if you take a fraction of second also, it is not a performance. So it may take up to 2 minutes in some cases, not every case, some cases. Then that case, it will take more amount of time. So what are the long running operations? Web service calls, bulk DML operation. Now, can we call web services from the trigger? False. Trigger will not support synchronous web service. Why it will not support? There is a possibility of taking more time. That is the reason. Trigger will not support bulk web service call. But if you have a requirement, according to your requirement, you have some requirement. According to my requirement, look at this. This is a banking application. Or you went to a showroom like Bajaj Electronics. When you want to showroom, you select from home theater. Now let's say 2,50,000 something price is set. You select from home theater, they told 2,50,000. Now you are able to pay the cash. They told they give EMI. When they say we'll give EMI, what does it mean? They are giving you finance money. Then they ask, give your PAN card number, everything. Now, when you enter the PAN card number, what happened? Whenever a customer is created with the PAN card number, automatically what happened? Request will go to CIBIL score. This is a third party application called CIBIL. The request will go to the application. They give your PAN card score. On the PAN card there is a score. The score will come back. If the score is less than 0, you are blacklisted candidate. Update your data to centralized database. Now your score is 0, you never took a loan, never have a credit card, never have a loans. Now, when you have more than 0, you have a credit card or loans or something you are using. Based on the score, they give you limit. Now, where is this score available? Third party. When this score should be calculated? Whenever a customer is created, automatically make a request to the CIBIL, get the score of the customer. According to your score, calculate the points. Then based on the point, they give you a limit for you. But according to your PAN card number, we can give you a finance of 1 lakh only. But I told my book theater is 2,50,000. But they told 1 lakh. If you are interested, take. Now when they say give EMI, everybody who will there, they don't give EMI. according to your limits, according to your credit card, according to your all the data will be verified. So when is this verified? When a customer is created. Now this is what trigger. What trigger? After trigger. Whenever a new customer is created, make a web service called third party, find out the CIBIL score, get the score, calculate the points, update. To do this, what I need? I need a web service to third party. Now, if you want to make a web service, from where? Whenever a new customer is created. When a customer is created, I have to call. What is the other choice? When you click on a button, I can call. There is a method. But I don't want. This is a common operation. Every time I create a customer, it is a regular operation. So I need not click on create. Automatically, I have to go and get the score. Then I have to go with what? Trigger. I have to go with what? Trigger. But trigger will not support synchronous web service. That is the reason I am going for asynchronous web service. How can you make a web service as asynchronous? Call the web service method with a asynchronous method. Name asynchronous methods like future, batch batch, schedule batch, schedule. So commonly used, future is commonly used. Right. Now, when you are using a future method, what is the drawback? I cannot pass trigger.new or trigger.old or trigger.old map or new map, as trigger will not accept as object as parameter. Then what should I do? Pass only list of record IDs. The next one. If you are calling a web service within a future method, you have to give at the rate of future route equal to true, otherwise it will fail. Otherwise it will fail. Why should you go for only after? Because I want to discontinue the dependency. I want to discontinue the dependency, and unless you know the ID of the record, I cannot update. After, if you want to update the record asynchronously, you need to know the ID of the record, because you may run after 5 minutes, you may run right now, you may run after 5 minutes, you may run after 1 hour. After 1 hour, how do you know this record? Unless you know the ID of the record, I cannot refer to you. Am I right? If I am running instantly, I know which record I can update. But after 10 minutes, if you want to run, unless you give me ID, I cannot update. That's the reason we are going for after. This is the one of the example of feature method, where we can use the feature method to call web services from the trigger. What is the common issue? Mixed DML exception. Mixed DML exception. Tell me one of other issues: handling long running operation like bulk operations and web service calls. I hope you are clear with this scenario. This is what we have left in the last session. Right. Now let us go with the next concept.